All right, I just have to.
It's just there are, in the chapter, there are they defined overhead being applied, but if you kind of just, and I hate to use this word because students get offended, but it's true. Just read what you're given. Remember, we talked about in class that the cost of producing a product is labor, materials, and overhead. And I give you all the material costs, all the labor costs. So you can just, I'll even do the math for you. That's $9,000, that's $16,000 of materials and labor. Okay, so you know the answer has got to be more than A, 16,000, because you have to also now include the overhead cost. Now the overhead cost tells you that 200% of the direct labor cost incurred is the amount of your overhead. Well, that means you double the labor cost. Add that to your 16,000, you should get your number.
Double the overhead. Okay, I see. Okay.
Double the labor.
The labor.
Get the overhead.
Yeah.
Part of these questions in the latter part, and you get a little benefit here because you're asking the questions directly. For the student who doesn't ask these questions directly, I assume that you've read the chapter and will be able to know where this information is and pick up on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it does make sense. All righty. I think that's the one that I was having problems. I think I was just thinking it too hard.
Yeah, maybe. But that's a difficult question. That's going to weed out some people who haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm good then.
Okay. I'm going to be here until 4:30 if you want to come back on.
Okay. 4:30. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. See you, Blanca. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate that. Shows me that you care about this. I appreciate that.
No, I am committed. I am. Once I start, I can't. It's hard for me to stop.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. If you want to just hang on, I got another student now coming on. If you want to listen in to any questions that she has, you're more than welcome.
Oh, she's coming in right now?
Yep.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Professor Hesse.
Nice to see you this Saturday afternoon. How can I help you? You texted me a little bit earlier, and I just saw that text fly through, and I didn't read it.
It's okay. It's just personal.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I hear you on that. I do that too. I just had that too. Yeah.
So if I think of a question, I'll post it.
Okay, we will. Blanca just had a question, and I'll mention it to you. She was talking about question number 9 on the examination, and that question involves cost accounting. And it's question 9, select section E, multiple choice question E. And I'm asking you there to total up all the costs given to you in the job and determine what's the total cost of a job A3B. And I give you materials, labor in September. Then they had some additional labor and materials in October. Those are all costs. And then the kicker of the problem is, and this is where Blanca had a little bit of difficulty, and I understanding so, is that the third cost, the overhead cost, is being applied at 200% of the direct labor cost.
Right.
So what you have to do there is say, okay, Mr. Hasse's given me the materials, he's given me the labor, and then that overhead is going to be applied at double the labor cost, 200% of the labor cost. So what would he spending on labor? Double that, and that's your overhead. Add that to all those costs, and you'll come up with an answer that's in one of those. And I'll even give you a hint. It's not A. It's not A. It's either B, C, D, or E. It's not A.
Okay.
Okay, because I told Blanca that too. It's not that easy.
Okay.
Okay, so that's just to be fair. And now, and anybody else who watches this video that I'm recording, they'll get that too. So that's, she asked that problem, and it's out of that chapter at the end of the book. I believe it's chapter 19, I can't remember exactly. But that information is in the text, but we went over that problem, and that's exactly what I told her. You follow that, you'll get your answer. And I know, Lisa, you texted me and say you're just going to listen in, and you're more than welcome just to listen in.
Thank you.
Just you and Blanca on right now. There's nobody else. So I'm just going to hang here and wait to see if anybody else comes on. But I'm going to be here no matter what till 4:30. So if you're more than welcome to hang out with me. If not, go ahead.
On problem 2, do you want do you want paragraphs or just a few statements?
Well, I think the best way of answering that problem is I would just put it in like a brief bullet format.
Okay.
Mr. Hassey, here are the responsibilities of a financial accountant, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Mr. Hassey, here are the responsibilities of the managerial accountant, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And in your answer, I will see the differences between the two.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
So you can write it in a paragraph or just put down bullet points, that's fine, however you see fit.
Thank you.
And remember, we went over in class that 1 week, I think it was last week, or 2 weeks ago, maybe it was last week, where I had a little chart showing the difference between financial and managerial accounting. You go there, there's your answer.
Yes, I remember that one.
Okay, there you go there, that's your answer. Okay, that's all I'm looking for.
It's in the PowerPoint, by the way.
Yeah, it's in the PowerPoint too. So boom, you go there. So now the reason why I give a question like this is it's a major part of the second half of our course, but also if a student who doesn't come to class, which we've had a few, they better be watching our recorded videos or they're not going to know where that information is going to be. And that's part of the reason why I assess that. It rewards the students who've been paying attention. And so that's the purpose of that type of question.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Professor, going back to the question that I asked, do you want to see the work?
No, just circle the correct answer.
Okay.
I don't need to see the work. In a question like that, if I say, show me your work, and as a matter of fact, there's no question on this examination where I'm asking you to show me the work. So I assume that you know how to do it. Now, granted, this is an honor system, so if you went in cahoots with another student and they told you the answer, there's no way I'm going to know about that. But we have to live with that with remote learning, so that's the way it is.
Okay. Okay.
But remember, I've always said throughout this class, if you go to another student or seek extra help, you should put that into your review or put that into your work that, I had a student session with a couple of our students and we went over this problem and they helped me on it. You should say that as a footnote when you do submit your work. And I don't have a problem with that. It's no big deal. But it'd be just being honest about it.
Yeah, because it could be that, we're working together to figure.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all, Lisa. I mean, Blanca.
Yeah, as opposed to give me the answer. Yeah.
Right.
That's good to know, though. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm writing down. I always take notes when I have review sessions that you and Lisa have come on, and I know that you have come here and asked me some questions because I note that. Not that it has anything to do with my grading, but I keep track of that because it's good to know which students come on and ask me questions or participate. That's important for me to know. So I keep record of that.
Yeah, and send you the emails asking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I wanted to thank you for those examples of the 10K papers. That made it seem
better,
easier.
Yeah.
It made it, because there was a lot of information there.
Yeah, it's kind of detailed. But the purpose of that exercise for you to see in the real world, whoa, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And I wanted you to see that. That's part of the exercises. You guys can see, whoa, there's a ton of data here. This is nuts. And that's one of the points of that.
I have a question in regards to that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
That's
no,
okay.
Go ahead.
Why would it be a proxy? In this every 10K, does it every 10K have a proxy?
Some do, some don't. It depends on the company,
Mhm.
depends on what is required by the investors or the board of directors. It changes by company. It really does, Blanca. You can't, there's not one formula for that.
So is it like a footnote or like?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly right. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
Do you have any questions for me?
I want to hear what I missed already.
Here's equity.
Someone might have already asked the question. You might have already answered it.
Well, Lisa asked a question in regards to problem 2 on the final. What are the responsibilities of a financial accountant and what are the responsibilities of a managerial accountant? And Lisa's main question was, Mr. Hassey, how do you want us to show that? How do you want me to write that out? And I told Lisa the best thing about that is that you just put it in bullet formats. Mr. Hassey, a financial accountant does boom, 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 boom. A managerial accountant does boom, 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 boom. Remember in class, we had in a PowerPoint lecture a little chart that showed the difference between financial and managerial accounting. That could be one of your main sources of references to answer that question. So you don't have to write out anything, just put in bullet points or short sentences, short answers of what you feel the responsibilities of a financial accountant are and a managerial accountant. Then by your answer, I'll see that you know the differences between the two.
Okay.
Okay. And
that's a good question. Thank you, Lisa.
And then Blanca came on board bright and early, like she always does. And she asked a question about problem 9, about cost accounting, and more specifically, the multiple choice question for letter E, where you had to determine the total cost of that job completed in October. And in that problem, this is a good question. This makes you think a little bit. In that problem, I'm looking for you to total up the 3 product costs in this problem: materials, labor, and overhead. I give you in the problem the material costs, some in September, some in October. I give you the labor cost, some in September, some in October. And then you have to determine this, what is the Mr. Hassey talking about here? The last sentence of the question. The company applies overhead at the end of each month at a rate of 200% of the direct labor cost. So in this question, you know the material costs, you know the labor costs. To get your overhead cost, you have to take the total of the direct labor costs and double it, 200%. Once you do that, add it to the other costs, and that number is in either B, C, D, or E. A, I told Blanca and Lisa that A is not an option there. That's not a correct answer. It's in one of those other 4. And so if you look at that problem, figure out what that overhead applied rate is, you'll have no problem getting to the answer. You are now up to date.
How soon will you be posting this recording, by the way?
Probably within the hour after I'm done.
Okay, that's different.
Thank you.
It takes an hour or so for the technology to run a recording and post it back to me so I can post it to you. About an hour. This is my 3rd review session today. I'm a little punchy, so I look a little haggard. Look at this. I look like a, good God. So I've had 2 other class review sessions today, so I'm a little bit, bleh.
We're going on vacation, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Hassey, if we get in a little situation, we have to ask you questions. Can we, ask you. Can we email you?
Yes,
ask
you can
questions,
email
or
me.
this- or-
Remember, we have this review session, and that's fine. If you, as you proceed through the examination, you can email me questions. We have a class on next Thursday night. If you have, that's going to be a review session class.
Okay,
And also we have our office hours on Tuesday, which will also, now I know a lot of you work during that time period, but those office hours on Tuesday afternoon from 3 to 5 also, where I'm online just like this, you can ask me any review questions as well.
okay,
So you got plenty of opportunities before this is due the end of next week to either talk to me, see me, or email me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.
okay.
Okay. And you know, the reason why I'm having all these review sessions, and the reason why I kind of gave you the exam a little bit early is because I also know that some of you are still finishing up your paper, and you got to finish that up. So that's to give you all a little time and some space to do that.
I do have a question on the paper.
Sure.
If we can't find the answer in the 10K or the proxy statement, and we can find the answer somewhere else on their website, is it okay to put that in there as long as we,
Reference it.
yeah, thank you.
Don't have a
Yeah,
problem with that at all. But
okay,
I find that surprising, but because all those questions and information are available in that data. Now, for example, let me give you an example though. Some of our students selected banks or financial institutions. There's a couple of questions in the questions of the paper that have nothing to do with banks or financial institutions. If you kind of look up a trade receivable, there's no trade receivables in banks. So all you need to do there, if you cannot find that answer, and it makes sense that, well, this is a bank, why would they have trade receivables? Then all you have to do is put NA as your answer for that question. Non-applicable. It's not applicable to this company. Now, it's a little bit tough for you being a first timer at this. Is this right to put this down or not? If you want to go to an outside source, that's more that you can do that. But for some of you, and I'm not saying all of you, but for some of you, you've selected companies where some of these questions will not apply just because of the nature of your business.
Mhm.
So that hopefully you can sort that out. If not, don't worry about it. If you know, I'll as I read it, I'll assess that and I'll know about that. So it's not that you're not going to be, it's not a big deal. It's not going to be causing you. I mainly look at the points of how you presented it. Is it readable? Is it punctuated fine? Are your grammar, your answers easy to read? It's an easy to read document. That's a big part of the document. If you miss a couple of points or you miss one question that you put NA and maybe it was there, that's not a deal breaker, and that's not going to cause you to lose an A. Where you lose an A is I feel that you really didn't give a darn about this paper and just kind of threw it all together. And I say, you know, why am I wasting my time reading this? This looks like the student really didn't care. That's where you're going to get affected with your grade. If you just go about, do the best you can and put it in a legible professional format, you're going to do well.
Yeah, that's good to know because reading it, to me, sometimes after a while, it was just jargon.
Yeah.
You know, I just couldn't put heads to tails and stuff like that. So
okay, that's fine. The main reason why I give this to every accounting class I've ever had is a lot of students say, Mr. Hassey, what paper? I have to look this stuff up. This doesn't apply to anything we talked about in class. Well, I wanted the student in this own little world, this own little way of seeing how after all the accountants get all done doing all their debits and credits and closing entries and adjusting entries and all this stuff, depreciation schedules, adjusting cash, blah, blah, blah. This is the final document that shows all this. And I wanted you to see that in the real world. That's the purpose of this. So at least you can see it. Oh yeah, there is a method to this madness. This is how it ends up. And Blanca's right. to the non-trained eye or to somebody who's just taking this class and then moving on, this is like looking at Star Wars. What's going on? I don't even know what's going on here. But that's okay. That's all right. At least you see it and experience once, and then we move on. Now, if you're going to be an accountant,
What are we doing?
then this
Oh,
is important
boy.
stuff.
This is important stuff. Yeah.
But if you're not, all right, I'm going to do it once, keep Hassie happy, do this, and then I'll move on.
One thing I did notice that when I was going through mine, that it made sense of the accounting that we were doing. That I started noticing the format and the tracking of everything. So it all came together for me, and it made sense to me.
And another thing that you're going to need, just having this in the back of your mind or seeing, oh, 10K, I remember seeing that in the accounting class. When you guys go into your business finance class, you're going to be talking about this stuff just as well, but from the finance side. And knowing what this is about a little bit will help you understanding that discussion when you get to that class. It'll be important.
Professor Hassie, on the proxy statement, is there any other terms they would use for stockholders' votes? I don't want to put non-applicable, but I'm pretty sure it's there.
Well, usually the proxy statement is a statement which the shareholders vote on and give their input to the management of the company, to the board of directors. If there's no proxy statement or none provided, that means they didn't have a vote or didn't have investor participation for that period of time, which happens. That happens. So if there's none, there's none. Don't worry about it. But basically, the proxy statement is to show is what goes to the shareholders to understand, vote, be participant in the operations of the company. The 10K is the document that's required by the government that a company has to file to legitimize them as a publicly owned company. They've done all the legal right things to do. They've got a CPA to verify the financials. They're showing all the notes. They're showing who makes what money. They're showing all the details, where they do business, what type of businesses they do. It tells the world what's up. The proxy statement is a statement before the shareholders, for the owners of the company to participate, to know about the business. So that's the difference between the two. Now, some companies incorporate the proxy statement in the 10K. Other companies keep them separate. Some companies don't even, if they have no voter interaction during the course of a fiscal year, there will be no proxy statement. So you just have to sort that out yourself. And here's what, Michelle asked a good question. Let's say, Lisa, you're putting the final stages on this paper this weekend. You say, I don't see a proxy statement. I don't know what's going on. Then you just send me an email. Mr. Hassie, I have XYZ company. Should there be a proxy statement? Should I be looking for that? And I will tell you, no, you don't have to worry about it for your company.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'll keep looking.
Okay.
Are you guys still having earthquakes over there, Professor Hassie?
You know, I haven't felt one at all. We have been having some earthquakes in the San Fernando Valley, about an hour and a half drive from here, but I have not felt one at all. But I get this I have this little app on my phone. That's an earthquake app that always rings and gives me a warning whenever there's an earthquake registered in California. And it's still been going on. I get a couple every day about little minor tremors in our area, but I don't feel them at all.
Yeah. We dropped off my daughter to CSU Fullerton.
Oh.
And, last Monday, there was a 3.5, about 50 minutes away, maybe towards Riverside.
So they're having classes at Fullerton?
Yeah, some of them. They have she's an RA. She was one of the finalists. Had to redo the whole.
Good for her.
Yeah, she got in, and then this whole COVID started, and then so they had to rank everybody else. She is 100% online, but they chose her to be an RA. They're opening 2 dorms where a lot
Probably
of
for the international students and
yeah.
students like that. Yeah.
Half of them we stayed over the summer. So
Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay. Now, what year is she at Fullerton?
Well, she is going to be a junior now because she started college classes earlier, but this is her 2nd year.
Oh, okay. Good.
Physically, yeah.
Good for her. Being
Yeah.
an RA is good. It also pays you, or it gets you reduced tuition, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. For me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Oh yeah, that I was shocked because my daughter went to Pepperdine and she was very active in getting scholarships and they helped out a lot.
They got a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was glad to hear about Pepperdine. I haven't told her about it yet because she's here, my oldest one. But
Oh, okay.
so this is my first time interacting with, I guess, if you will, a public school.
Yeah.
And so, I did everything. We had to do everything face to face. So, it's a 5-hour drive with the traffic just to get a note for everything. I was like,
Wow.
okay, I guess I have to cuff it up.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
And you know that from Laverne too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michelle, I don't know if you heard me. Maybe you came on a little bit later. I am just going to hang out here till 4:30, and I'm recording this. If if you want to hang out with me and just listen if anybody has questions, you're more than welcome. Or feel free to go. Don't feel like you got to sit around here and listen to emptiness, but you're more than welcome to. I'm recording this and going to post it probably by 5:30 today. And but you do whatever you feel as you do. I know a lot of students are busy on Saturdays and it's difficult. So you do what you have to do if you want to stick around, please do.
Okay. Well, today is my husband's birthday.
Oh.
So, and we're going to celebrate it when he gets done. And Monday is mine. So
Well, happy birthday. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's great. Well, my birthday was a week ago, so we're kind of summer babies.
Oh, yeah. August.
My
No.
birthday was July 27th.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
You get as old as I am, you kind of lose track of when your birthday is or not.
Now, yeah. Oh, yeah. My kids ask me, Mom, how old are you now?
We'll talk about that later. Yeah, I hear you.
May I ask I guess, and you can answer it generically if I don't know how, but I have another class that I'm taking, which is econ through Laverne.
Yep.
And based on the syllabus and everything, structure, he should have posted, I guess if you will, he's calling it homework 1, which was the midterm. Homework 2 would be the final. He has not. He should have posted it last week. There's nothing.
Not posted anything.
Wow. Have you sent him an email asking what's up? I
asked him. I did late the week prior, and he just said I will be posting it on week 9. And and the syllabus tells us when it's due. And then I asked for a review, or like what we're doing right now with you. Yeah. And he said that he would have that on week 9 as well. Nothing has happened. Well, again, keep your memory. Remember this. And when it comes time that he wants you to do the course evaluation, or the Laverne wants you to do the course evaluation, you point that out to them. All right. You let them know. We never got our grade until very late. There was no, as promised, a review session. You let them know about that.
you know, if
You
you
know,
are,
and I don't know if this is the right word, but legally, can he, you know what I'm trying to say, or where I'm going, where, what if he posts the final, if you will, like next week and wants us to do it?
well, legally, if you want the legal interpretation, if it's in his syllabus about how he's going to do this and when he's going to post it and the dates that it posted, you know, if you notice in my syllabus, I say when it's due, when
Yes.
it's, and if that is in there and he's not abiding by that syllabus, you can, you have various appeals that you can go about and appealing either your grade or the viability of what you paid for this class. You have that option to do that. Now, I'll be also honest with you. The appeals process, and I'm being too honest here than I should be, the appeals process is all run by fellow faculty members. And we'll see how far that gets in the appeal process. But what you should do is keep hounding him. Blanca, you're good at this, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. You're in a good way.
Yeah.
You care, Michelle care, all you guys care about what you're doing here. Not only because it's money being spent, but also because you want to better yourself and do well. And if you're getting jerked around, or bad choice of words, but maybe lied to and not getting this, you got to tell somebody. Write a letter to President Lieberman. Write a letter to the provost. If this is continuously happening to you in this program, some people got to know about that. And if it's not getting corrected from one year after another, one term after another, you got to start saying, you know, guys, this is ridiculous. You know, I might have to see an attorney about this. I mean, I'm making this maybe a little bit over dramatic, but you know, you're picking up the tab. There's a syllabus, which is the legal document of the contract between the professor and you guys of what's going to happen. If he's not following that without a legitimate explanation or reason, you have a legitimate case there.
Okay.
But my first course of action would be put it in the evaluation. And if you're really upset about this, write an email to Nellie Kasman, who's the director of the regional campus program. She's the boss. Write an email to Devorah Lieberman, the president of the university, who's Nellie's boss. If you're not happy, let them know about it. Tell them, how can you treat me this way in this economy where without me, you guys aren't going to be even open? How can you treat me this way? Use that sort of attitude. They'll listen to you and maybe correct this situation.
Yeah, because you know, there's daily, weekly quizzes, and I think he's only probably midway of. I've turned all of mine in, but he's only graded half of them.
Well, again, you've
the
documented this. You've documented this.
Yeah.
And you should let people know about this in the evaluation. Who, whatever, you know, letting me know is okay, and I appreciate telling you that. But if I can't, I don't have a recourse. I can't, you know, I am friends with Devorah Lieberman. I am friends with Provost Reed. I am friends with the dean of the college. But if I tell them, hey, this guy's not doing his job, they'll look at me and saying, oh, how do you know? What's going on? Well, my students tell me, well, and you guys better do something about this. But it really sinks in if you guys say, hey, without me, you guys are not going to be in business. Will you listen to this? And this is the situation. That's how you should go about doing it.
You know, and to me, you know, just based on what I've done and what I've submitted and stuff. So at the end, if he is only going to use what he actually graded or what we submitted and then weigh it accordingly, I'm going to pass the class, right? And that's basically ultimately my concern at the moment.
Yeah.
However, not knowing when he's not even done halfway through and not knowing if we're even going to get a grade or where we're at is just a little edgy.
Yeah. And I would write an email this weekend to Nellie Kasman or to your director of your campus where you are and say, hey, dude, I'm in my last week of class now and I don't know what's going on. What's up with that?
Okay.
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 And if they give you the song and dance, just tell them, you know, I mentioned this to Mr. Hassey, my teacher in finance, and he told me to do it this way. So then if they got a bitch or a complaint, they can come to me and I'll tell them exactly what's going on.
All right, back up.
You can use my name. I don't care. That's fine. Because they'll know I'm not lying. They'll know I'm telling the truth. So there you go.
Okay, back to when you said, okay, so it's due the 14th. the final or whatever, the homework number 2. So can he literally get away with, if you will, to give us that information to work on the day before it's due, and he get away with it?
Yes, he can. If, for example, let's say this was an on-ground class. We were in a classroom, right?
Uh-huh.
And I say, okay, we're going to have a quiz in class next week. Right? I don't pass out the quiz to you in advance. You get it when you come to class and do it in class, okay? That's if it was an on-ground class. Now, I don't know about this guy and how he operates, and I don't know anything about it, whatever. But it's not very fair to the students if he gives you posts a quiz and it's due the next day. But it is fair if in the syllabus that he says that's how he's going to do it.
Well,
So
he said to me that he was going to make it available such day. So at least I have his emails.
Okay.
When actually they're on discussion on Blackboard, so everyone can see that.
Okay.
But okay.
All right.
Just putting my ducks in a
Is
row.
this a Laverne class or a Hancock
It is.
class?
It's a
Laverne.
Laverne class? Okay. Are you taking the same class, Michelle?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I've had many of the same questions,
Okay.
and many of his quizzes have been based on his interpretation of accounting, and he wants us to answer the questions based on his videos and not on the book. He don't want us to answer the questions from the book, but from his videos.
Interesting.
And I don't feel like I'm really learning anything by doing that.
Well, he does go over what's on the textbook, so I mean, I kind of have to vouch for him on that one. Just to be fair, not everything he does.
Not everything,
but the majority it is. The majority. I mean, if you read the textbook, it's there.
What night is this class?
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays?
It's Econ 228
Okay.
with Professor or Dr. Park
Really?
Ganyong. If you.
Okay, that's interesting.
Blanca, can I ask you, have you received your grade back from the homework one?
Oh yes, he did. He did. He emailed it back to the group.
He emailed it? He didn't post it to Blackboard?
No, because that's how he wanted it submitted. And so he emailed it back to the group.
He did?
So I did. Yeah, he did.
Oh, I didn't get that. I need to probably go check again.
Okay.
So, I mean, everything that I have so far, I mean, I should get an A if I was to average just based on what I submit. So, whatever, the average of what he's turned in with a grade. But I just don't want to be blindsided with the rest of the information in this homework 2 final, whatever.
Okay.
But I mean, to me, at the end, I have the review, like you said, or comment. What is it again?
Evaluation.
Evaluation. So I will put this information in there. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't want to take the class again.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
It's too expensive.
Yeah, right. How does he do his videos? Are they on YouTube? How does he get them to you?
WebEx, I think.
Oh, WebEx.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They're in Blackboard. He posts them on Blackboard.
The video, it's like a video lecture?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's nice. We've only met with him once for review.
You mean like live?
Yes,
Okay.
through WebEx.
And we're supposed to meet one more time, week 10.
Yeah, that would be tomorrow, but he hasn't even posted the.
That would be next Tuesday, right?
I mean, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Well, again, write him an email, express your concern about getting the grade, and document that with your email and write it up or write what you feel in the evaluations and go from there. That's how I expect you guys to do it. Your evaluations are important to me. It tells me what's going on, and that's how I do it too.
Yeah. You know, I did get him to change the length of time he was giving us on the quizzes, because his syllabus did say you have a full week to work on your quiz. And so, but then he sent information giving us like a week and a half for the first week quiz, and then it got shorter from Tuesday to Friday. And so I emailed him. I said, your syllabus states a full week. That is not a full week. So I need you to change it. And he did.
Oh, okay. All right, good. That's good, Blanca. You're doing what you should be doing.
And so, you know, because that's what it was promised there. And so he did. So I did appreciate that. But I don't know where he's at with the rest. And
I don't have any questions at this time,
Okay, Michelle.
so I'm going to skip out. And if I come up with anything, I will.
Let me know.
Yes, I definitely will.
Michelle, have a wonderful party and celebration with your husband tonight, and we'll see you next week, okay?
Thank you. And again, I want to appreciate, thank you for you taking out your time and doing this for us, and going over and giving us opportunity to ask questions concerning the exam. Thank you, because you really put a lot of effort in doing this, a lot of time.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. Have a good.
Goodbye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Professor Hussey,
Yes,
I'm going to
Lisa.
go on and sign off also.
Okay.
I'll do the same. I'm pretty sure I will have a couple more questions, but you said